This time of day, it's hello and welcome to Program 7 in this series of the fastest show on Earth. Now, Program 8 at the fastest... Camera. Action. Music. 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 It's Movie Go Flat. It's not every day we get a chance to see a new Western. Probably only 2 or 3 times a week. The latest to arrive is Flower of the West, or The Lone Hydrangea. In this excerpt from the film, Tex Johnson, 6'3" in the saddle, 5'2" on the ground, and 4'6" in his socks, is determined to die with his boots on.
Oh, Mr. Johnson, are you going to find the Clancy brothers?
Yes, sir, I am.
Mr. Johnson, are you going to find the Clancy brothers single-handed?
Yes, sir, you bet I am.
Well, Mr. Johnson, the boys want me to give you something for them to remember you by.
What is it, Clem?
A tombstone.
Well, it's kind of appropriate. I'm a religious man. My father was a canon.
Yeah, you son of a gun. Still, like this, Mr. Johnson, you gotta go out and face them. All 5 of them. You gotta stand up and fight. You'll never be able to look yourself in the face again. Go on, Johnson, get out there. You gotta fight for yourself, or else you gotta run.
All right, I'll run.
But Johnson does return for this exciting climax, which contains some of the best written dialogue in the film. Yes, wonderful, powerful stuff. My favourite moment was the end. But just before that, there's a beautiful final scene with the heroine.
Must be moseying along now, Miss Crawford. Guess we had some good times together.
Guess again, Tex.
We had some bad times together?
Right. Still, I'll never forget you, Mr. Crabtree.
Johnson.
Sorry. Guess I'll never forget you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Miss Crawford.
You can call me Susan.
That's a relief. I never could stand Mary Lou.
Well, so long, Tex.
So long, Susan.
Goodbye, Tex.
Goodbye, Susan.
Tex.
Susan. Say, which way's the sunset?
Flower of the West. Which brings us on to studio news. Many of you probably heard the sad news this week. If you didn't, here's Clifton Weaver to tell you about it.
This week, Clarence Rock, born Clarence Rock in 1910, died quietly in his sleep, the poor son of a millionaire who reached the top. Some of his critics claimed that Clara, as we used to call him, was not quite masculine enough for the screen. What nonsense. It is true he always asked for a stuntman to play his love scenes, but this was because of his height. Or rather lack of height. For whenever he acted, he needed to stand on 3 orange boxes. And as he put it, you need to be a stuntman, sweetie, to play a love scene on 3 orange boxes. And Clarence, though stunted, was no stuntman. Clara's greatest year was probably 1938, when he won an Oscar as Best Actor of the Year for his portrayal of Julius Caesar. What a fine achievement this was, especially as you'd already won the Best Actress award as Caesar's wife. Yes, we will remember you, Clarence Rock.
Thank you, Clifton. The Whopping Film Festival ended today. Alex Tideway reports from Moscow.
The curtain has fallen, the players are gone to each other's homes and beds. The black clocks are in mourning for the evening as darkness falls helplessly to the ground. The critics are dispersed, and for many of them, this is the end of another film festival. For in fact, today, the festival ended. Ended here today as the curtains fell, the lights went out, the bunting came down, on another triumph. Or was it? Who knows? For although this is the end, in another very real sense, it's only the beginning. Or Or not. It's difficult to say. It's difficult to talk about this week, which marks the start of another week and the close of the last. It's difficult and dull. In my end is my beginning, said F.W. Jack somewhat wittily, and he was off his head. Alas. And that, from Wapping, is it for another year. The glitter has faded, the noise has died, the curtain has fallen, the pumas have winnowed away, the bunting has come down, the gondoliers have crumbled, the rubbish has been eaten, the cashier has been flayed, and Edward II had a painful death. Whatever else happens, we can be sure of one thing. Today, the Wapping Film Festival ended. Probably.
The latest musical to hit London is The Sound of Monks, which opened for 5 years last Tuesday. This injects into a rather hackneyed theme of a singing monk the ingredients of a spy movie. Sex, dope, unwanted pregnancy, all of which the hero experiences. The hero of the film is Brother Louis. The girl he loves, Teresa, is, unbeknown to him, a plainclothes nun. The climax of the film comes where the strike at the mill threatens to get out of hand. Teresa, temporarily blinded through guilt at her treatment of Joshua, threatened by the flames from the body of the cruel mill owner, and cowering from the bullets of the mob, suddenly calms everybody.
Brother Louis,
Yes, Teresa?
hold my hand.
I'm holding it, Teresa.
Play the guitar.
I can't.
Why not?
You're holding my hand.
Sing us a sentimental, irrelevant song, Louis.
Of course.
Did you do that with the guitar?
Yes.
It's a miracle.
Anything's possible on a soundtrack.
Oh, I feel so sad and unimportant.
No. Then I'll tell you how to make yourself happy and on top of the world.
Oh, good.
Whenever a monkey's feeling sunk and the sky above is black, no matter how much he tells his beads, they always answer back. Well, then he will pick his Latin dictionary off the shelf, and after a while he begins to smile as he mutters to himself. Antebellum laudidata arma mutatorum. If the people stare at you, you simply must ignore them. I suppose it has a meaning, but I'm really not too sure. Antebellum laudidata arma mutatorum. Rum-tum-diddle-i-rum-diddle-i-rum-diddle-i-rum. Rum-tum-diddle-i-rum-diddle-i-rum-diddle-i-rum. When the old routine is getting you down, the days go trudging by, and you can't kick the habit, no matter how you try. When you're not well and life is one long miserere, then you'll find heaven at the top of a 7 on the Latin dictionary. All together now. Antebellum laudidata arma mutatorum. If you don't impress them, then you suddenly will bore them. Say it very slowly or you'll dislocate your jaw. Antebellum laudidata arma mutatorum. Not long ago I was feeling low and sulking in the sun, asking what fun can a monk have, when answer came there, no! I thought, hey, but then thought, nay, I'm celibate forever. But then she held me near and whispered in my ear,
Antebellum laudidata arma mutatorum.
and now we celebrate together. Oh, antebellum laudidata arma mutatorum. When the sisters say it, then you can't help but adore them. Come on, everybody, more and more and more and more. Antebellum laudidata arma mutatorum. Antebellum laudidata arma mutatorum. Antebellum laudidata arma mutatorum.
Hello. What's all this then? What's going on here?
I'm cooking your supper, John. Now, why don't you go and sit down in the lounge?
Wait a moment. What's your name?
I'm your wife, Mary Pulp.
Mary Pulp. Address?
Now, John, I'll bring you in supper in a moment. Why don't you
Wait
just...
a tick. What are you doing?
I'm cooking.
Cooking?
Now, you go and sit down.
You trying to tell me what to do, sir?
John, darling, do you have to behave like a policeman the whole
I'm
time?
afraid so. Anyway, I'm not a policeman. I'm a spy.
John, please, you don't have to pretend to me. You're a policeman, and you've been a policeman for 30 years, and I'm very proud of you. And you don't have to pretend that you're a spy just because that's more romantic than being a policeman.
I'm a spy. Being a policeman is only my cover story.
Yes, all right, John, darling, you're a spy. Now, you go and put your rabbit disguise on and wait for dinner.
And I'm a famous trapeze artist.
Well, that's very clever, John. Now, why don't you go into the garden and chop the tree down again?
Hello? What's that man under the table?
Oh, John, there's something I've been meaning to tell you.
Right, let's have it then.
Well, John, it's a long story. You must know things between us haven't been, well, what they were when we were first married.
Wait a moment. First married. Right.
Anyway, I met Roderick 6 years ago, and John, darling.
Constable, if you please.
And Constable, darling. Well, it was destiny. The chemistry was right. You know how these things happen. A fusion of kindred spirits. I don't know what you call it. All I know, for the first time in my life, I was in love.
Fusion of kindred spirits?
John, can't you listen just for once? I'm talking about us. Why do you have to write everything down?
Listen just for once.
John, I can't stand it anymore. I'm going to leave you. I'm going away with Roderick.
Wait a moment. Wait a moment. I've broken my pencil. How unromantic. Well, you've got to be prepared for anything if you're an international spy.
You're not an international spy. You're not even a policeman.
What?
Yes, I know. I've known for 30 years. You're not a policeman. You're a boring old chartered accountant, going around dressed up as a policeman, pretending you're a spy. Everybody knows you're an accountant.
Oh.
The bowler hat, you fool. The bowler hat. Policemen wear helmets.
Oh.
And long trousers.
Are you 21? Are you over 6 feet, well-educated, good-looking, physically fit, with good vision and healthy lungs? Are you tired of your present unexciting work and think you're suited for a better job? Cocky little devil, aren't you? Tonight, by special request, we have a return visit of the Tillingbourne Folk and Magical Society. Here they are in a tea-time concert entitled The Tillingbourne Folk and Magical Society Sing de Blues and All Dat Jazz. Thank you.
Wow! I just want to tell you, well, I've been working on the railroad. Oh, yeah. I've been working on the railroad, yes, I have. I've been working on the railroad. Oh, yeah, that's what I've been doing, working on the railroad. Oh, yeah.
No need to shout, Mr. Oddie. That's better.
I'm working on the railroad all the day. I want to go down where the whiteys sway. I'm gonna see my Snow White ma'am way down south in Cheltenham. Swing that piano, Mr. Lee. Holy mackerel and a cup of tea. Oh, honey, ain't you gonna hear me shout? Oh, honey, shake that thing about.
Isn't he rhythmic?
Oh, I done been got them dirty blues. Gonna wake up in the morning with my dancing shoes.
Wonderful sense of rhythm.
Mama in your feather bed. Rock me till my face turns cherry red. I wanna get it in my soul. Couple on some of that jelly roll.
It's Cameron, I'm afraid.
Oh, honey, ain't you gonna get it? Shout, oh, Lordy. Oh, honey, shake that thing about.
It's so wild and primitive.
Get please and beat to skin. Show me how to do down New Orleans. I got hold you working, I'm feeling fine. Everybody down still, 9:30. Shake it now and go. Just like the black and white minstrel show.
Ah, satirical.
Oh, honey, ain't you gonna hear me shout? Oh, Lordy, oh, honey, shake that thing about. One more time, cats. Oh, honey, ain't you gonna hear me shout? Oh, honey, shake that thing about. Oh, shake that thing about. Oh, yes.
Possibly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present another week installment. I'm sorry. I'll read it again. Another week's installment of our serial.
You'll pay for this?
Why?
It's an HP installment.
Be that as it may, the story you're about to hear is true. Only the facts have been changed to make it more interesting. We present part 7...
That's a serial number?
...of our 3-part serial, The Curse of the Flying Wombat.
Oh, not again.
Windsor and his gallant friends in the clutches of Hurricane Flossie.
Ooh!
There they were in the middle of the tempest.
Blow winds and crack your cheeks, don't you, Hurricane?
No, that's King Lear.
Oh, I'm the King Lear.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
As the storm rises, Captain Otto Cleese makes a last desperate entry in his logbook.
Dear logbook.
We can't go on a meeting like this.
Suddenly there is a tumultuous thunderclap. Captain, please, the hurricane do be upon us. We do be done for. Oh, Captain, 'tis a terrible storm, a terrible storm.
Yes, I know. These sound effects aren't what they used to be. Oh, it stopped.
And so we were saved. Next morning, as we sailed peacefully over the waters of the mid-Atlantic, there came a cry from the lookout.
Now he tells us?
Immediately the whole ship was in confusion. Down in her cabin, the sudden jolt hurled Lady Constance from her bunk.
Auntie, are you all right?
What happened, Lady Constance?
Well, I was having this beautiful dream. There were just the two of us. And suddenly, there I was on the floor. A fallen woman.
It must have been terrible in here, Tim, darling. Look at the debris scattered round the cabin.
That's Grimbling. I fell on him.
Up on deck, the whole crew clustered round the captain. Where are we, Captain?
Oh, surely you recognize this place. The great icebergs, the penguins, the polar bears, the friendly people in their fur coats rushing out of their igloos to welcome us. Why, it's,
Look at those sandy wastes, hundreds of them.
Hey! Come, my dear, what's your name?
Lucy.
And you?
Lucy.
And you?
Lucy.
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 You know what this means?
Not.
Yes, it's a hallucination.
So, we landed on the coast of Zanzibar and decided to make our way to Kathmandu on foot. Or rather, for all of us except Grimbling, on feet. But before we set off there was something vital we had to know.
Excuse me, which way is Kathmandu?
Never heard of it, mate.
Obviously, we needed help, so we decided to get to know the locals. But it was still half an hour before opening time, so we visited the bazaar and mingled with the street criers.
What's the matter with you?
You want to buy sexy new by a slave girl?
No, we're looking for a native bearer.
You don't get natives much better than this. Hello.
Oh, how are you, dear? Yes, I thought so. Come, we must look elsewhere.
Excuse me, I wonder if I can help.
Why, how much are you?
Oh, no, I'm Colonel Clutch Feathering Hall, the local military attaché.
The military what?
Attaché.
All fall down. We're wasting time. Colonel, will you accompany me?
Oh, and certainly, yes.
Thank you, you play very well.
Tell me, Captain, what are you going to look for?
Something all men desire.
King Solomon's mine?
That's all right, you can have him. We're off to the Green Eye, the little yellow dog. Now we must gather supplies for the trip. Have you got a quartermaster?
Yes, that's him lying over there.
But he's almost dead.
Well, he's more of a half-master.
Will do. Come here, my man, and show us what you're selling.
Captain, look at the supply keeper.
Good heavens, it's a Chinaman.
I am a Wong, sir.
Oh.
And this is my brother. Ha. He has a Wong, too.
Never mind. Will you come with us on our journey?
Would you repeat the question?
£90 a week.
A pleasure.
And so the little band set out. 11 souls alone in the jungle. 11 souls venturing into the pitiless wilderness from which only 12 would emerge alive.
Oh, Timothy Whimsy, I'm exhausted. For the last 3 hours we've been struggling onwards, hacking our way through the bush.
Well, it's a very large bush.
Oh, Timmykin, I can't stand it. The dreadful heat, the thorns, the agony of every step we take. Struggling, onward, ever onward. I can't stand it, darling. I can't stand it. I tell you, it's terrible, terrible. I can't go on much longer.
You've gone on quite long enough.
Oh, what's that?
Shh. I think they're war drums.
No, listen.
He's ready.
Oh, they must be kettle drums.
Look over there. Oh, a huge figure looming out of the undergrowth.
Who is it? Who's there?
Hello, fancy meeting you out there. In the muddle of the jingle.
It's Masha Wilkins.
Yeah, and I've been trailing you through this impenetrable ferret. I mean forest. No, I don't, I mean Stoat.
Stoat?
Yeah, totally impenetrable. You get so easily lost.
So you still intend to beat us to the green eye of the little yellow dog?
Yeah, and I know where to find it. I've got a mop.
You mean a map?
Yeah, and that's how I know.
What do you know?
I've forgotten. Nathless, we shall meet again, and until we do, goodbye.
Onward we strode. It was a terrible, difficult journey. I had to keep going, which didn't make it any easier. But at nightfall, we reached a little clearing in the forest.
We all sat down to dine off a wild boar, but the plates kept falling off its back. Maisie Robinson, the international temptress, behaved disgracefully. Let me tempt you, my darling. Oh, you're so beautiful, so strong, so virile.
Oh, you're too kind, miss.
But suddenly someone noticed.
Have you seen Lady Constance?
Yes, grotesque, isn't it?
No, what I mean is she seems to have disappeared.
Odd socks.
I beg your pardon?
It's all right, I seem to have dressed carelessly.
But what can have become of her?
Good grief, look over there through the trees. A giant water vole swinging through the branches with Lady Constance clasped in its hideous paws.
The poor creature.
Yes, I hate to think what she'll do to it. Quickly! We must go after them and get her back. I only hope we're in time.
Oh, I hope so.
I hope so.
Is this the end of Lady Constance?
No.
Well, is this the end of Lady Constance?
Ah, that looks more like it.
Tune in again next week to the swinging BBC's wackiest station for another switched-on hippie go-go swing-along ding-dong zazazoom. Jam-packed, fruit-filled, lemon-meringue pie of an episode of your famous hot patootie cereal. Till then, pip your old things and don't miss your next ration of boom, sow, kapow, and thunk. Bye!
And so, with the Angus Prune tune, we end another edition of I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again, in which you heard Tim Brooke Taylor, John Cleese, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie. The scripts were by Tim Brooke Taylor, Ian Lang, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Eric Idle and Bill Oddie, who also wrote the songs. Musical support was provided by Dave Lee. At this point, we usually make a joke about our producer, Humphrey Barclay. Well, there's no joke like an old joke. So that's it until the same time next week, when once again the golden voice of the nation's heartthrob will tell you...
It's I'm sorry, I'll read that again.
My name is Angus Prune, and